So kind of forgot to start filming, but the truck was sitting right here. As you can see, there's kind of like a lake forming back here, so I'm glad we got out when we did. There's kind of some divots here, and we struggled. There's a lot of ice here, and we kind of made a little bit of a mess of the yard here, but kind of fixed it a little bit. But the old 300 pulled her out just fine. So we got the service unit out here loaded up with tools all in the inside. The good old trusty 300 4x4 with the 4-speed. She just got pulling power. And now I'm sure you guys are wondering, what is the project? And you might be kind of confused when I show you guys, but let's take a look. So you're probably wondering, why the heck are we doing anything with this truck? Yeah, that's probably a good question. You know, I've seen worse, but not much. I'm gonna pop the hood and show you what's underneath this jewel. As you can see, it's a 4-speed T19. It's got a manual transfer case. It's got Dana 61 diff in the front, rear, Dana 44 HD in the front. And it's got a 6.9 IDI that is, I think it's just the cylinders and the pistons have fused into one. I've tried and tried to get this thing to crank over, and it's not happening. So another thing you're probably asking is, why did I buy this? Well, the way I see it, it was $300. I've got a good transmission, transfer case, and diffs, and the frame is solid. And this is kind of a unique truck, actually, because this truck is a custom. It's an 83. So, you know, if you know anything about custom, actually, no, it's not a custom. It's an XL. They didn't use customs in these days. But anyways, the base model truck, the lowest you can get. But it's kind of got some cool options. Like, it's got the digital clock in the dash, which I've only seen one of those before. And another cool thing that it's got, that door closes really good, is it's got front and rear sway bars, which is almost unheard of in the 80s for trucks. So yeah, you're probably wondering, what are we doing with this? And we'll get on with that a little later in the video, but I just wanted to show you guys what it is right now. We'll show you a little teaser. I'm not sure if we're going to actually reveal the idea of what's going on in this video, but just know that obviously we're getting rid of the 6.9 because it's seized forever, and we're putting a different diesel in it. And no, it's not a Cummins, and it's not another IDI or a Power Stroke.
Not a cat either.
It's something that I've never seen done by anybody, so it's going to be a unique build. But just a little more, you know, showing off the quality of this thing. She's pretty solid. Yeah, I haven't seen much for worse, but the frame is solid. As far as I know, the axles, transmission work, everything, the clutch still works, but the engine is just fried. Okay, so we got it out. So we're just at our old farmyard here. Nobody lives here anymore. We're gonna take it to my dad's place where we live and get tearing this thing down. So let's hit the road. Good so far. We're just at the highway here, so probably about maybe a quarter of the way to the farm, so let's keep rolling. we made it. You can see we're at the farm here. The Dodge is sitting over there by the boat where it sat all winter. And well, Dad's not home and I forgot my key. So I guess we're gonna head back to town and grab a key, grab some coveralls, maybe get some breakfast, and then come back and start working on this thing. So we're just gonna right now check and make sure there's no water in these diffs, because it's kind of sitting in a slough, but I don't think that there'll be anything. The transfer case doesn't have water in it. So let's, oh good Lord. There we go. Oh, breather's definitely not breathing.
No, not overly.
Okay, so it's not overflowing, so that probably means that it's good, because if there was water, the oil level would be much higher, although it's pretty dark. But that looks good. I think we're fine. First thing we're gonna do is just pop the hood off. It'll be nice and easy to work under here. We're basically just gonna try and strip everything out of here, try and get the fenders off, the rad support off, and we're gonna try and separate this engine from the transmission. Transmission can stay where it is for now. So we got the hood off. I think we're gonna try maybe take the bumper off next.
I think that cowl has to
Get the cowl off, get the fenders off, and then we can kind of start tackling the wiring. The rad's just draining out here. Alrighty, so we got the cowl off in one piece. It's actually, this will probably be the one body part that we're gonna reuse, because it's not dented whatsoever. It's perfect. This hood looked good, but it's kind of rotted out on the bottom here, so probably just gonna be trash, but let's see what happens. We're slowly working away at this. Got lots of the front end off. This got all on the table. Man, this rad support is rough, but that's kind of the whole truck, so we'll keep going. So here, as you can see, this is the proper way to remove a fender. You just bend it a bunch of where it's rusty here, and then it eventually falls off. If anybody you know is looking for a good fender for a bullnose, I got a couple. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We've got this fender off. It was quite a fight, but now we know what we're doing, kind of. So we took the bumper off to make it a little easier. This bumper is probably not gonna get used. This side's not bad, a little wavy down there, but this side is just kind of atrocious and the top's all bent, so probably just get a different one. Wow, that actually came off really easy considering there was still a bolt attached down here. So we're taking this thing apart, and I noticed this is not factory. So there's a brake line that runs into the cab, and if anybody knows, I mean, I'm not that old, so I don't know, maybe this is how they used to do brake controllers, but it runs to this brake controller. So does that stop the trailer and the truck brakes at the same time? I'm not sure, but interesting. Been a minute since we took a video. We've got the rad support off. I'm actually very surprised. Both the bolts, the nuts just came right off, although this nut got stuck in the socket. The worst I've ever seen. We had to bolt it to the bumper and beat it with a hammer for probably 10-15 minutes, but we're getting somewhere, getting rid of all the AC lines, because I doubt that this system would have been any good. Just kind of clean some stuff up. Hopefully we'll get the engine out today. I don't know, we're gonna see what happens. Still gotta clean up some wiring and such. Okay, so we got we got most everything took off. We took off the fuel filter housing, the vacuum pump, the alternator, the power steering pump, the AC compressor, which is locked solid, just like the engine. So got rid of all the AC stuff, because we're probably not going to use AC in this truck. It's already got wing windows, so that's good enough for me. But I think we're going to try and delete some exhaust pipes, motor mounts, bell housing bolts, and I think it's gonna come apart soon. Big old crack in the manifold there. Yeah, it's coming along. We've been at this for a couple hours, but I guess it helps when you don't really care if it comes apart nice. Alrighty, so we're getting closer, kind of cleaning up a little bit here because the wind's kind of coming in. But I believe everything is out. Got the exhaust cut, bell housing bolster out, starters out. I think that's pretty much everything underneath. So got the tractor running. Gonna dump all that garbage in the bucket, just in the box of the truck, and then hopefully we can just lift this thing right out. That was the process. This thing, the tractor obviously can handle this much weight, but that engine is heavy, I can tell you right now. So one of the dowel pins was just stuck. We were fighting it like crazy. Kind of maybe got a little rambunctious here and maybe wrecked some stuff, but this whole cab is just getting scrapped anyways. Transmission came out, or didn't come out, but it's in one piece still. And yeah, it's out. I think we're gonna probably tear this engine down. So this truck is it's obviously an 83, and I believe, I was never told by the owner how long it was parked for. I believe it was 06, because that's the last sticker on the plates. So it's been sitting since 06, and it's 2023, so that's 17 years? Yeah. Something like that, almost 20 years. And we just pulled the valve cover off, and it's actually really nice on the inside. The only thing is these back two push rods are rusted. Maybe the valve cover wasn't sealing right back there or something. I don't know, but it's not as bad as I thought. But I mean, it's still all toast. This thing is seized solid, and it weighs a ton. Got the other side off, just curious, just looking around, and it's a little bit worse. There's some rust on that push rod, and this rocker actually kind of started deteriorating quite a bit in that push rod, but not as bad as I thought it would be, considering it was parked in a slough basically. Not quite, but there's some moisture back there. Alrighty, so we just kind of set the engine over there for now because I can't really get into the backyard and put it on one of my trucks back there. So just set it there for now. We can move it in a couple weeks. I guess we gonna have to move this truck now. And now the truck's going to its resting place until the engine gets put in. Whenever that happens, no idea. Alrighty, so the truck's just kind of sitting here now, just kind of covered the engine base so wiring doesn't get a bunch of rain on it, even though I'm probably not going to use a whole lot of this factory wiring. I basically just use the light wires, but should be good. We got everything that we wanted to do today done, so I guess next up we gotta pull the engine out of whatever it is that we're getting an engine from.